Let's move on to another story which probably impacts a lot more people tomorrow, Daisy. RBA lifts rates and the pain takes off. Jim Chalmers has told households that inflation will get worse before it gets better, and interest rate climbs will continue to climb after the Reserve Bank announced a 0.5 percentage point increase in the cash rate, adding $200 a month to a $750,000 mortgage. You can't escape it, Daisy. I feel that everyone's bubble, even though you might have a buffer. If you know, I myself am very blessed to have a well-paid job and be in secure employment for the time being. But again, you sort of look at petrol prices, $2.10 today and up to $2.35 here in Perth. It's going to start hurting very soon for a lot of people.
Look, Jenna, what I'm going to say right now is quite generic, but I think it's the only thing that fits. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. I mean, I look at this and I think, oh my God, after a pandemic and national disasters and businesses being forced to close and all the trauma and trouble of the past few years, these strange and trying times we're living in, now we have this hike in rates and like, you know, $200 is a lot of money to your average person when it comes to their mortgage. This absolutely sucks. And the terrible thing about it, Jenna, is that I don't think people can actually see a way out of it, whether, you know, not just with Albanese not outlining a plan. And, you know, Tanvi, you put it so correctly when you said it suits him definitely not to talk about economics and let the others do the heavy lifting. But just, I think, mentally, people can't see a way out of this. And it's all very well for Jim Chalmers to push the rhetoric and talk about, you know, the Aussie resilience and, oh, we're all just going to have to, you know, knuckle down and try to get through it. That means nothing to people who are really suffering towards this. So yeah, this is just it sucks. That's all I can really say about it.
It's as eloquent as I could be, that's for sure, Daisy. But Tanvir, that's a really interesting point that Daisy makes in terms of the resilience and the mental health impact that something like this is going to have on people, especially on the East Coast that have been so heavily impacted by natural disasters and the COVID lockdowns and things like that. What are you seeing in your professional life as people start to grapple with the real pain of the cost of living?
Well, I think the RBA is going on through the pandemic because Australians had a big, that we saved a lot. So at the moment, there's still a bit of a cushion in the average household, but that's gonna be under strain very, very soon in the coming months. I mean, look, to be honest, but what I've been seeing more recently, I'm quite near the flood zone, so you do get this real sense of demoralisation. Only in the last few months, you know, it felt like we're coming out of the pandemic, and people were starting to get a real sense of optimism, and they were building or they were fixing things with a real sense of the future. And then we're getting these, not just the floods, obviously that's in a specific zone, but it's like we just kind of sticking our heads up going, oh yeah, the world is going to be nice. We're going to get on a plane or we're going to do this or we're going to spend. And it's just been kind of pricked in a whole variety of ways. So look, I think there's a lot of demoralisation at the moment.